Gear out, we're expecting several inches of fresh powder later this afternoon. Should be the perfect winter welcome for the staffs of SnowGoer and Snowmobile Magazine to West Yellowstone for their 1994 road reports.
Work your Chevy truck to the bone, and what does it get you?
Stood there boldly, sweating in the sun. Felt like a million, felt like number one, like a rock.
It gets you the best resale value of any full-size truck in the business. The best.
Like a rock.
Chevrolet, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Like a rock.
For active snowmobilers who want to be in the know and the first to know, there is only one source, SnowGoer Magazine. SnowGoer provides in-depth, unbiased information on the new machines. Only SnowGoer is willing to go out on a limb and tell you which sleds are better than others and what one machine deserves to be called Snowmobile of the Year. SnowGoer will take you to new vacation hotspots, tell you how to save money on performance add-ons, and keep you posted on what new products really work and products that don't. Order now 4 issues of SnowGoer for just $10.97. Call toll-free 1-800-877-6118 and charge to your Visa or MasterCard. That's 4 action-packed issues for just $10.97. Call now. When the heavy snows arrive in Yellowstone, an incredible fairyland of beauty unfolds. Swans, geese, and ducks cruise the waterways as buffalo and elk patiently and methodically search for food. This wildlife can be enjoyed by the snowmobile enthusiasts throughout the winter. West Yellowstone, the snowmobile capital of the world, serves as the western entrance to Yellowstone National Park, the very first national park. Winter is spectacular in Yellowstone. The contrast of crisp white snow and steaming geysers is dramatic, and there's no better way to see it all than on the back of a sled. Snowmobiling takes you to some of the most spectacular winter scenery Yellowstone country has to offer. West Yellowstone is also the hub for 9 groomed trails in the Gallatin National Forest, totaling more than 185 miles for pure mountain sightseeing. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are thousands of miles of trails to make even the most enthusiastic riders weary. So where better to test the performance and agility of top-line machines than West Yellowstone, Montana? That is why the staffs of SnowGoer and Snowmobile magazine have made Yellowstone their test zone. Armed with the latest in snowmobile technology and equipment, they're here with consumer guest riders from all across the snowbelt, riding and rating the 1994 snowmobiles from Arctic Cat, Polaris, Skidoo, and Yamaha. So sit back and enjoy. You might even learn something before it's time to head down to your local dealer to pick out that new 94 sled you've been craving. Arctic Cat Thundercat. When you talk about raw power in sleds, it all starts with the roar of the 1994 Thundercat. The tremendous horsepower of the 900cc liquid-cooled engine is just the beginning of this sled's strength. As they say, things happen in threes. 3 cylinders of pure power, 3 tuned pipe exhausts, and last but not least, 3 VM38 Mikuni carbs. This all adds up to a sled that has a legitimate claim as the most powerful of the bunch for '94. The Thundercat features AWS-3 double wishbone coil-over FX gas shocks in the front and Arctic Fast Track extra long travel slide rail in the rear for the superior handling and control you expect from a high-performance sled. The Thundercat is also loaded with everything from tach and speedometer to trip meter, oil warning light, and hand and thumb warmers. Suggested retail, $8,699. Arctic Cat ZR580. Introduced last year as a limited build mid-season race sled, the 1994 ZR580 is now a full-fledged consumer sled and features a race-proven 580cc liquid-cooled engine. It's matched up with twin VM38 Mikuni carbs and a tuned pipe muffler exhaust. To complement all of this power, there's a lightweight aluminum chassis and a 40-inch ski stance for added stability. The AWS-3 front with chrome Molly wishbones and adjustable Fox floating piston gas shocks allow you to tailor the front suspension to trail conditions and your personal riding style. For added convenience, there's hydraulic disc brake, thumb and hand warmers, trip meter, oil gauge, and many other features you've come to expect from a high-performance trail sled. Suggested retail, $5,999. Arctic Cat EXT 580 EFI. When it comes to performance trail sleds, the 1994 Arctic Cat EXT 580 EFI stands out in a crowd. It's not just its sleek and powerful styling, but the 580cc liquid-cooled Suzuki engine that makes heads turn. With twin cylinders, tuned pipe, muffler exhaust, and 46mm throttle bodies, the 94 EXT provides smooth power across the entire band. The EXT 580 EFI not only has power, but control and comfort over rugged trails with its AWS-3 suspension, new ZR-style chassis, gas shocks, and standard sway bar. The rear suspension boasts an Arctic Fast Track extra long travel slide rail with gas shocks as well. With a 40-inch ski stance, the 580 EFI provides stability and control, while carbide runners make for quicker response on ice and hard-packed trails. A mountain cat version of the EXT EFI with 136-inch track is also available. Suggested retail, $5,799. Arctic Cat Prowler. If you enjoy long-distance trail riding, the 1994 Prowler EFI is a sled you definitely want to check into. A 440cc lightweight liquid-cooled engine with new electronic fuel injection will deliver the precise fuel mixture you need for the response that's expected. With 7 inches of travel up front, adjustable gas shocks, and a 39-inch ski stance, this sled will allow you to glide over the most rugged of trails with confidence. The Prowler's wide array of standard and optional features will leave the most discerning of riders satisfied. For $94, the Prowler EFI is also available in a 2-up 136-inch track version. Suggested retail, $5,599. Who better to put the 94 snowmobiles to the test but the future of the sport? 4 teenage guest riders put these sleds to the limit, testing their agility, performance, and handling. Matt Doyle. Matt lives in a small town in western New York called Marion and has been trail riding seriously for the past 5 years. He restores old sleds for a hobby and makes a habit of wearing Think Snow shirts to school during the winter.
I think what impressed me most with the 94 road reports, compared to my sled back home, was the suspension on the new sleds. The moguls we were hitting out on the trails were pretty nasty sometimes. The sleds ate them up. It was great. I think the thing I'll remember most about the road reports is the scenery out in here in Yellowstone. It's beautiful. We don't have anything like this out in New York. The mountains, the meadows, they have just about everything. A lot of powder, a lot of trail riding. It's great. Most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Jeff Werner. Jeff has been riding on his own for 8 years. He lives in Casper, Wyoming, and does most of his riding in the mountains. Jeff averages close to 3,000 miles a year on his sled and spends his free time helping his father with the family snowmobile repair business.
I think what impressed me most about the machines here at the road reports compared to what I ride at home is the suspensions and the aerodynamics. I have a 90 Prowler at home and it has about the same suspension, but they've improved it so much over 3 or 4 years. Gas shocks, more travel, etc. And the aerodynamics, they're so sleek, hold you to the snow, cut right through the air. To get more young people interested in snowmobiling, like myself, there needs to be basically much more publicity. You don't have to be a diehard to have a lot of fun on snowmobiles. Just like snow skiing, teens can get into snowmobiling. You can have a lot of fun without having the fastest, the best suspension.
Jason Schroeder. Jason has been riding for more than 7 years. He grew up in rural New Holstein, Wisconsin, and spends most of his winter riding in northern Wisconsin and Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Jason purchased his first snowmobile by saving money from his paper route.
What impressed me most about the sleds here at the road reports were the variety of different sleds I got to ride. You know, I got to try some different brands, different manufacturers, you know, just to get the different feel, see how the sleds felt. It was pretty cool. Probably what I liked most about the road reports was just the different people you got to meet. You know, you got to talk with the manufacturers, factory reps, guys from the magazine. Chaperone was pretty cool too. You got to ride a whole bunch of different sleds. I mean, you know, try different brands, different models. I liked it a lot.
Kevin Nagel. Kevin has been riding for 10 years, starting with his Arctic Cat Kitty Cat. He currently lives in Aberdeen, South Dakota, and in 1992 was selected as the South Dakota Youth Snowmobiler of the Year. He participates each year in the South Dakota Governor's Ride, belongs to both the South Dakota and Minnesota Snowmobile Associations, and spends his free time helping his father around their family snowmobile repair business.
I think how you could get more teens involved in the sport of snowmobiling is have the local clubs and the local dealers have the manufacturers come down for a day so the teens can get a feel for the snowmobiles before they have to go out and buy one themselves. The thing I think I remember most about the road reports is riding with the other teen riders, people my own age who like to ride just as much as I do. Riding with the racers and hearing some of their stories, and then the scenery out here is just beautiful.
Polaris Indy Storm. Are you looking for a Ferrari on skis? If so, you might want to check out the 1994 Indy Storm, featuring a high-powered 794cc liquid-cooled engine, up 50 cc's from 93. The pumped-up Storm boasts new pistons, new porting, and a new timing curve, resulting in a 10% horsepower gain. The new XC100 rear suspension reduces ski lift and provides improved steering. Stopping the Storm in its path are liquid-cooled hydraulic disc brakes. A barrage of standard comfort features, including handlebar warmers and a full set of gauges, make this a Storm you won't mind riding out. Suggested retail, $7,899. Polaris Indy XLT Special. The hot graphics of the 1994 Indy XLT Special will surely turn heads again this winter on the trails. A 3-cylinder liquid-cooled 579cc engine with 3 VM34 slides and P85 clutch with new plated shaft combined to put this sled at the head of its class. The XLT Special, SnowGoer Magazine's 1993 Snowmobile of the Year, features a parallel link trailing arm and gas pressurized Fox shocks in the front, boasting 8 inches of travel. In the rear, you will find an all-new XC100 suspension with dual position Fox shock and longer front torque arm. With the Indy XLT Special, the X stands for extra, the L for light, and the T for triple. And that's what you'll get in this performance sled loaded with standard features, such as painted engine heads, one-piece seat, full instrumentation, hand and thumb warmers, and carbide ski runners. Suggested retail, $5,899. Polaris Indy 500 EFI. You can feel the thrill of the racetrack on the trail with the 1994 Indy 500 EFI, featuring a 2-cylinder 486cc liquid-cooled engine and twin 46mm throttle bodies. Hydraulic disc brakes provide smooth stops. Parallel link trailing arm and ITS rear suspension work together to handle everything, the rough bumps and the twisty trails. The new 500 EFI features the same all-new hood design as the 440, including refined seat, handlebar, and console positioning, dual 30.5-watt high-beam halogen bulbs, new thermoplastic front bumper, and hand and thumb warmer switches on the handlebar pod. Suggested retail, $5,499. Polaris Indy 440. The all-new styling of the 1994 Indy 440 is sure to be talked about this year and for years to come. The Indy 440 features a liquid-cooled 488cc engine and dual VM34 SS slides, supported by the proven IFS in the front and ITS suspension with adjustable torque arm limiter in the rear. The Indy 440 is loaded with extras, an easy throttle system for quick response, hand and thumb warmers, as well as 2 halogen headlights to lead the way. The real story with the Indy 440, however, is the all-new styling, featuring a new, sleek, wind tunnel-tested hood design, molded rear console, one-piece seat, and handlebar cover. Suggested retail, $4,659. The thrill of sled racing is something few get to experience. John Witt not only experiences this sport, he excels at it. Witt is a 3-time winner of the Sioux I-500 Enduro race and the 1993 World Series of Snowcross winner in the Dash for Cash and Pro Stock class. Success hasn't only come on American soil, but abroad as well. Witt placed 6th overall in the 1992 International Championship Snowcross in Sweden and 1st place in the European Championship drag race in 1992. As a 1992-93 Snow Week Racer of the Year finalist, John Witt knows what it takes to compete at the very highest level.
Testing all the 94 model sleds at the road reports this year, the sled that I'm most impressed with was the Polaris Super Sport. It's a real super light machine with super handling, and it's a lot like the XCR, but it's at a lot lower price sled, so it gets a lot of aggressive trail riders into a sled that handles real nice, and it's a real performance sled. So I was really impressed with it. The thing I remember most about the 94 road reports was being able to go out and trail ride with some highly respected racers, and then be able to pull up and stop and talk about it, and having a lot of leisure time with them. It was really a good experience.
Gearing up is not new to Ken Hallis. Neither is winning. Hallis is a 1992 and 93 Southern Wisconsin drag high point driver and Minnesota Cup winner. In the world of snowmobiling, quick starts are essential, and Ken is exceptional with a 90% start-win ratio. Racing sleds is more than a career for Ken. It's a passion for speed, excitement, and winning. His accomplishments include 1991 ISR World Series of Drag Stock AA Champ, 1992 Heyday Stock Champion, and 93 High Point Stock Driver at the Heyday Grass Drags. As a Skidoo Pro Driver and a 1993 Snow Week Top 10 racer, Ken Hallis has proven himself time and time again.
Formula Z has been the sled that has most impressed me at the road reports this year for two reasons. One, the 580 motor has always been a favorite of mine, and two, the new Z chassis. I think it'll work really well. The 580 is a very competitive class, but I think the sled will fare fairly well against the competition. I feel the manufacturers learned from our racing in two areas. One, they learned to develop a more of a performance type sled, and two, they learned that they have to make the sled dependable because of the rigors of racing that the different forms of racing put the sleds through. And I think that's really good for the consumer, because not only are they getting a performance rated sled, but they're also getting a very dependable sled that they can enjoy themselves on the weekends and whatnot.
The helmet, the gloves, the suit. Very familiar equipment to a driver like Darrell LaPlante, to whom snowmobile racing is second nature. Darrell was the Motorsports Racing Plus High Point driver for the 90-91 season and the year-end champion in Pro Light, Pro Stock, and Pro Open classes. Sled racing is a sport filled with the excitement of high speeds and the thrill of victory at the finish line, an exhilarating feeling Darrell LaPlante has felt many times. Competing in the highly competitive USSA Oval Circuit, LaPlante was High Point driver in Mod 1 and Mod 2 for the 1991-92 season, High Point driver for Mod 1 in 92-93, and 5th overall in his first year running the high-speed Formula 3 class. With a record like Darrell's, you can only foresee many more championships in his future.
The machine that I was mostly impressed with was the 580 EXT from Arctic. It's a new style EFI in the ZR chassis that's slightly modified, a little different than the ZR, but real close. It was real smooth in the corners, and actually it was one of my favorites this weekend up with the road reports here. Well, the manufacturers learn a lot from racing because we go out and test most of the new stuff that comes out. For instance, like the bulkhead on ZR, you know, we try that out in oval racing. We got some high-speed cornering that we put a lot of stress on it, and if it holds up in that, most of the time it's real good out in the trail. So that's the way we test stuff.
With 19 seasons of snowmobile racing under his belt, Tim Bender is in every sense of the word a pro. He's been the #1 factory driver for Yamaha the last 9 years and has won more than 84 national and regional events. Racing across the finish line in victory is an incredible feeling Tim Bender knows well. He has won 11 World Championship titles and 7 National Point Championships. He was also the 1986, 87, 88, and 89 Formula 3 World Champion. With such an extensive list of career wins, you can only wonder what's on the horizon for this talented rider.
Impressed me the most in the new 1994 Yamahas was the VMAX 600. The ride, the handling, the power from the new Reed Valve 600 engine, it really works good. The package is a real nice package for trail riding or high performance trail riding, which is what I like to do. One reason why a lot of the manufacturers are involved in racing is because they learn so much from the racing machines that they build or that they help tune. The suspension development, the engine development, the clutching systems that they've come up with over the past 10 years, it's amazing how far they've come, especially in the suspension department. Like us with the TSS, we used to have leaf springs 10 or more years ago, and now we've got the TSS, and it's a whole new dimension as far as suspension goes, especially the new TSS on the VMAX model. The ride and the bumps and the combination with ride and handling is unbelievable.
Yamaha VMAX 4ST. The 1994 VMAX 4ST. The name says it all. You'll get the max out of your ride with this ultimate performance long track sled. With its big liquid-cooled 743cc four-cylinder engine, you have the power to go just about anywhere your imagination takes you. The fuel and air are funneled through 4 Mikuni TM33 carbs, which provide instantaneous throttle response. Handling the terrain up front is a telescopic strut with adjustable damping. Equally impressive are adjustable Pro-Action Link and nitrogen gas shocks controlling the rear. The 1994 VMAX 4ST is loaded with standard features such as full instrumentation, speedometer, tach, thumb and hand warmers, and a large 10-gallon fuel tank. Suggested retail, $9,149. Yamaha VMAX 600. When the 1994 VMAX 600 cruises the trails, you can't help but notice this sleek and powerful performance sled. The performance-oriented 600 features a 598cc liquid-cooled high-output twin and 2 Mikuni TM38 carbs with the power to satisfy the most demanding enthusiast. In the rear, the Pro-Action Link suspension boasts 8.5 inches of travel along with nitrogen gas shocks. Among the standard features are much appreciated hand and thumb warmers to keep you comfortable on the longest of rides. The VMAX 600 is also available in electric start, 2-up, and long track versions. Suggested retail, $5,649. Yamaha VMAX 500DX. For reliable power, comfort, and performance, the 2-up VMAX 500DX is turning heads. It features a strong and proven 493cc liquid twin-cylinder engine with Nickel cylinders and 2 Mikuni TM36 flat slide carbs. The DX suspension features long travel telescopic struts up front and adjustable Pro-Action Link with 8.5 inches of travel and nitrogen gas shocks in the rear to smooth out the rough terrain. The VMAX 500DX includes a wide array of standard features: electric start, reverse gear, speedometer, tachometer, and adjustable handlebars with hand and thumb warmers. Passenger hand warmers are also standard. Suggested retail, $6,049. Yamaha VMAX 500. The 1994 VMAX 500 features an impressive 493cc liquid-cooled twin engine with 2 Mikuni TM36 flat slide carbs, digital CDI and torque stabilizer rod. With a new long-travel telescopic strut front suspension and adjustable Pro-Action Link rear with nitrogen gas shock, the all-new VMAX 500 handles everything from brutal bumps to tight corners. The VMAX 500 also features a 40-inch ski stance for outstanding handling. The VMAX 500 is fully loaded with speedometer, tachometer, hand and thumb warmers, and is also available with 2-up seating, electric start, and high windshield to fit your personal taste. Suggested retail, $5,249. Snowmobiling is not just a man's sport. It's a family sport and is enjoyed by thousands of women as well. That's why 4 of the guest riders are women of varying skill levels. They put the 94 snowmobiles through their paces, rating the sled's overall performance and style. Lori Communal. Lori has been riding for 22 years, mostly in upstate New York, Vermont, and Quebec. She currently lives in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, and also spends time during the winter helping her husband, who races a Plus X on the oval tracks out east. They recently spent their honeymoon. What else? Snowmobiling.
A lot of women don't snowmobile because they don't have the opportunity to snowmobile. I've grown up around snowmobiles, and I think if we get them more involved, we show them that they would be warm, that we have cool clothing, and we have snowmobiles that they could ride, handle, and have fun with, that more people would be involved. To say what I would remember most about the road reports is the professional way that we were all handled, the courtesy that we were all given while we were here. Nobody would realize how much fun that we've had unless you were here yourself, and we really appreciate everything.
Karen Wallace. Karen has been riding sleds for 21 years. She lives in Philomath, Oregon, an area that gets little snow. So she, her husband, and 5-year-old daughter travel up to 3 hours each weekend to go riding. Karen is an active member of her local snowmobile club and a skilled mountain rider.
The things I look for when buying a sled for myself are stability, handling, the ability to get you through the powder, and the little extras like the thumb warmers, hand warmers. What I think it will take to get more women involved in the sport of snowmobiling is to make them comfortable when they ride, let them gradually go out on their own without having to ride behind someone else, which can be very frightening. Just let them get a feel for it at their own pace.
Allison Hollister. Allison has been snowmobiling for nearly 20 years. She grew up snowmobiling on Lake St. Clair, near Houghton Lake, and currently lives in St. Clair Shores, Michigan. Allison has owned everything from a Rupp Nitro to a snow coupe. She bought, installed a new motor, and raced an Arctic Z in the late 70s, and is currently looking to trade in her Blizzard 5500 on a new 94 model.
What impressed me the most about the sleds that I rode out here at the road reports compared to what I ride at home is definitely the suspension. I have no suspension on my sled at home, and the suspension, having the independent front suspension on those sleds really makes a difference in the cornering ability. You can power it up quite a bit more to get around those corners, and I like it a lot. The most important feature that I look for when I look at a sled to begin with is what it looks like. The cosmetics means a lot because everybody wants a hot-looking sled.
Michelle Miller. Michelle began snowmobiling in 1986, not long after she and her husband moved to Colorado. They own a 240-acre ranch, so they use their sleds, a Polaris 440 and Arctic EXT, for work as well as play. Michelle currently lives in Silverthorne, Colorado. When she's not snowmobiling, her real job is flying co-pilot on a 737 for United Airlines.
Features that I look for when I'm buying a machine are the ability of the machine to work with my strength level as far as turning ability. I like for it to be easy to turn. I like for the ride to be comfortable. And I like the power. I like the acceleration of them. I think to get more women involved in the sport, you have to expose them to it. And you could do things like the skiers do, have a beginning ski day where you can have a free day, have women see the machines, ride them, feel and see how easy they are to ride and how nice they are. They're beautiful machines, and get them out there to doing it.
If you depend on your truck to last, here's news you should never forget. Of all the Chevy trucks built in the last 10 years, over 98% are still going strong. That's more than Ford, more than Toyota, more than Nissan. Over the years, no other truck is that dependable, foreign or domestic. Only Chevrolet, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
For active snowmobilers who want to be in the know and the first to know, there is only one source, SnowGoer magazine. SnowGoer provides in-depth, unbiased information on the new machines. Only SnowGoer is willing to go out on a limb and tell you which sleds are better than others and what one machine deserves to be called Snowmobile of the Year. SnowGoer will take you to new vacation hotspots, tell you how to save money on performance add-ons, and keep you posted on what new products really work and products that don't. Order now 4 issues of SnowGoer for just $10.97. Call toll-free 1-800-877-6118 and charge to your Visa or MasterCard. That's 4 action-packed issues for just $10.97. Call now. Skidoo Mach Z. Mach Z, faster than the speed of sound, is what the name implies. On the seat of the 1994 Skidoo Mach Z, you'll get an idea of what that really means. Carrying a 3-cylinder 779cc Rotax engine with triple TM38 Mikuni carbs and rave valve, this sled will again contend for the top muscle sled honors. The front suspension has a swing arm with radius rods and 2 high-pressure gas shocks. In the rear, twin shocks with a 5-position cam on the front arm and 7-position cam on the rear arm is more than sufficient to handle the rough stuff at high speeds. Not only does the Mach Z have power and handling, but luxury too. Standard features from speedometer to heated throttle lever make your riding experience truly enjoyable. Suggested retail, $8,599. Skidoo Formula Z. When the new 1994 Formula Z comes hurling around the bend, you'll know what race-proven performance is all about. A 583 Rotax with rave valve and twin Mikuni VM40 carbs make this liquid-cooled performance sled one of the best new entries of the year. The Formula Z features a swing arm suspension with HP6 shocks in the front and twin shock suspension with 7.5 inches of travel and preload adjuster for maximum performance in the rear. The Formula Z uses plastic ski bottoms for greater acceleration, carbide runners for quicker response on hard-packed trails, new rim injection hood and tank cover for durability, and a 40-inch ski stance for outstanding handling and stability at high speeds. Suggested retail, $6,199. Skidoo Summit 583. This year, climbing the mountain won't be the same with the all-new 1994 Summit 583 leading the way. Featuring a 583 Rotax engine with dual Mikuni VM38s and an 11.1-gallon fuel tank, this sled is ready to go the distance as well as supply the power. To enhance the power, there's a lightweight aluminum chassis, polyethylene pan, and a 36-inch ski stance. The real story, however, is the all-new high-altitude corrector, or HAC. Used for years on ultralight aircraft, this device lets you ride from sea level to the summit and back without rejetting. The Summit 583, with its 136-inch long track, is also great on the trails. Providing the maximum amount of trail comfort and handling is the twin shock front suspension and improved C7 rear suspension with gas shocks and preload adjuster. You can also get a long travel Summit with HAC in a 470cc version. Suggested retail, $6,099. Skidoo MX. The 1994 MX is powered by a Rotax 467 engine with twin Mikuni VM34s and a tuned pipe with spiral muffler, giving you impressive low-end and mid-range power. The control you want will come from the swing arm front suspension and high-pressure gas shocks front and rear. With standard features such as manual fuel shutoff valve, heated throttle lever, carbide runners, snow deflectors, and injection oil indicator, the Skidoo MX is not only powerful, but pleasurable to ride. Suggested retail, $5,399. Now that you've viewed the 1994 snowmobiles and your adrenaline's pumping as you anxiously await the upcoming season, all you need to do is get out to your local dealer where your new sled is waiting for you. We hope you've enjoyed the 1994 Road Reports as much as we have.